community live. Riders are just getting going in the race today. We are going to be doing... Oh no, there goes Zwift. I absolutely love that. We have to jump right back in, boys and girls. Somehow we just clicked in the right place at the right time. That's absolutely yes. We'll be right back with the game for and big huge thank you. Let's see what this is all fuss about. What's going on, Jesper? We just had to grab the game there real quick. We had a little bit of a really quickly there. We grabbed the big old X button, the upper right hand corner, and goodbye we said to the game of Zwift there for just a moment. But we're all up and running again, so it looks like we are back at the front of the A's right now in the SZR Race Series, race number 3 in the series. And we do have a whole list of results ready to go for you, boys and girls, from the last 2 races. SZR Race Series is a 12-week series that is running all the way, I believe, through March. And so it's going to be pretty awesome to see who is here ready to fight for the points. Points are going to be rewarded today in all the categories. First place through 10th place are going to be getting points for their overall series. And currently, in the A category, Mr. Philip Diner, coming out of Germany from Severe Coaching, has 50 points with 2 wins under his belt already in that A category. Then in, looks like sitting in 2nd place would be Le Monstre, coming out of Great Britain right now. And he's sitting with 23 points. So a pretty big gap between 1st and 2nd place currently in the series. Now, I have not seen Philip yet out on course. I'd be surprised if he doesn't show up with such, and there he is actually. There is the German flag on the right hand side there. There's definitely Mr. Diner hanging out here, ready to defend his lead right now in the SZR series. So there is Le Monstre is also, let's see if he has shown up today and is on the list of riders nearby on the right hand side. I'm definitely seeing a Webb in here though, coming from Vision Cycling. Francis Kopix is out here today. Casey Shum, I wonder if he has shown up. Big thank you actually to Francis, as he was the one who pulled us back up into the peloton after our Zwift was closed by our awesome commentator today. Alexander Koop is holding down for 3rd place currently in the series for the A's. So Philip Diner, Le Monstre, Alexander Koop, that is your top 3. Joachim Sjordgren, coming out of Sweden there, riding for the SC team, actually sitting in 4th. Neil Duffy for the BRT Bolt Racing team, sitting in 5th place right now. in the A category. Your top 10 rounding out with Adrian Timmis, Caden Sports. I believe that is an ex-Tour de France rider, actually. World Tour Pro, ex-pro. 14 points currently in 6th. Henning Offixted, 7th, and Casey Shum sitting in 8th place right now in the series for the A's. Pierre Ronsgaard and then Francis Kopix rounding out the top 10. So Casey Shum is saying not racing today, saving it for tomorrow on ZCL. Absolutely awesome. And if you wonder what he's talking about, Casey's one of our Zwift on board riders, and so we get to see him suffer in his pain cave. And so Casey is, I believe, is going to be doing the ZCL or the race tomorrow with Kiss is what he's talking about, and going to be doing Zwift on board with us tomorrow, which will be super exciting to see. And then sitting in the, so this is the A's that we went through for the current leaders. Philip Diner in there in that lead group has made the lead group. We do see Joachim here as well, who has also made the lead group, who is sitting in top 4. I've not spotted Neil Duffy just yet, but A. Timmis, he has shown up as well, Adrian Timmis. So he is here looking to better his result in the series so far. It is your best of 10 in the series, so you can have an off race here or there. So best of 10 in the series, out on course today, or in the series, for the duration of the SZR today. I'm getting a little beep 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 in the background, and I'm wondering if that's coming from my stream splitter. I'm gonna do something here. Might be gone right now. As I did. We had a little noise going on in the background there, I think, every time somebody was chatting at us. We'll have to see if it's gone now. But let me know if you guys were hearing that over at the stream or at ZCL. If you were, please let me know, if not, great. I am opening up all the chats everywhere, everyone, so I will do my absolute best to interact with all you guys as much as possible. For those of you guys who are over at the chat over at Beam, just so you know, there is, we are moving a whole lot of stuff over to the ZCL. So if you have not done so already, make sure to head on over to Zwift Community Live. I will do a quick little shout out in the Beam channel for Zwift Community Live so that you guys know we are moving all of the broadcasting of the events over to Zwift Community Live. So if you've not actually followed Zwift Community Live yet, make sure to go do so, because one day we are going to stop broadcasting events on my personal channel and moving just to my personal riding and other gaming and interactive stuff that I'm doing on Beam on Nathan Guerra, on beam.pro/Nathan Guerra. So make sure to head over to Zwift Community Live, hit that follow button over there so that you are not left out. We are also live on Zwift Community Live on YouTube as well as on Twitch if you like those platforms as well. So it looks like we do have an attack here. We've already down 1 lap out on course for the SZR, and we got F. Larson here out of Norway with Biho as well as the pace line. Bokrad is there as well. They are flying through the TKBE ride that is out on course right now. I believe TKBE is putting on some sort of a group ride that is absolutely gigantic. This is like the biggest mass of ride. This is, I mean, sometimes I'm like, the WBR boys are just like this huge group, but the TKBE have taken over the roads of Zwift today, boys and girls. It is absolutely huge, and we had to leave the event module because we had to close Zwift on accident. So we're going to see everybody out on course today. I am seeing James Hodges. He's in here as a part of this group ride right now. And I even have a feeling that some of the racers might have gotten a little confused by what's going on in front of them. They will only see the other riders that are in the race with them, though. So I have a feeling they haven't quite made their way through this gigantic mass of riders out on the flat course right now. There is the front of the SZR, I believe, with J.T. Henap coming out of the Netherlands there. The Dutchman here hammering away at 3.9 watts per kilogram. I would be surprised if he's actually in the SZR, as he's only doing 3.7, and there was a major attack, it looked like, up toward the front of the race. But this, I clicked through pretty good there, and it doesn't look like anything is changing up here. Yeah, Zuskana, I should probably change that. Our production manager is taking the day off for right now, and I didn't get on that right off the bat, but that's okay. We've got the right title over at Facebook as well, so it'll go out correctly to the VOD, which is what's super important. For some reason, it doesn't push, so if you're using a stream splitter, for some reason, it doesn't push to beam when you put the title into the stream splitter, and so I'm not sure exactly what the deal is there. So for the B category, that is a huge team from Belgium. Yeah, I'm not sure if that's all the team members, though. It'd be interesting to know if whether or not that's all the team members. We are looking for the front of the SZR. I think that it's going to be Hennep here, but not absolutely positive. We'll wait for some updates from zippower.com in the live tab. The race rules are no power-ups, so the event modules can disable power-ups now, everyone, just so you know. So the event module that has been set up today is no power-ups, no TT bikes, and also you must power meter and smart trainer winners to take the category win. So if you want to win the category today, you cannot be on Z Power. The categories are, as usual, the 4.0s for the A's and higher for functional threshold power, 3.2 to 3.99 for the B's. The C's are 2.5 to 3.19 or 3.2 right around, and D's are 2.49 and under. We still have this guy out of the Netherlands here hammering, it looks like. F Person, it looks like, is at the front with Jay Chain. Ryan uncategorized, Jay Wallstrom, Neil Duffy, Copics was there, Ron. There is a huge group, though, it looks like, up at the front of this race. About 30, maybe even going out to 50 riders. So we are looking for that group. We've got Humor here, it looks like, with a few other SZR riders here, all trying to make their way down the flat of the course here. This is where we could use Mr. Jonathan Nobbit for sure, because he'd have better eyes on everything than I am right now. All right, Jay Rosk here out of Sweden with Nordstrom. I'm going to get a good idea, I think, here in just a minute of where these boys are at. These guys were about 14 seconds back, Nordstrom was, at the first checkpoint of 4.5 kilometers. So I think we're a little bit off the back, and that front group must have went absolutely flying through that group of TKBE riders, actually. So we may be able to move forward here and find the front of the race. Hagenbakken is here, a well-known rider in amongst these races. I see him week in and week out. I did see that Torgersbjørn Hansen was logged in prior to the race, but I'm not seeing him, I don't believe, in the races right now. If we had Mr. Quentin LaFay in here, we could maybe get the director sportif to let us know what's going on with that. Hagenbakken is here. He was a little ways back at the last checkpoint out on course. Ronsvik is here. Glenn Sell Jason, it looks like, from Vision Cycling, trying to make the chase back to the front of the group. So we are moving up into, it looks like, the top 20 or so out on course right now. And so, you guys, I can see all the chat over at Facebook, just so you know. So if there are any questions about what's going on with racing, what is this all about, what's happening with ZCL and anything like that, please let me know. We do have Van den Besselaar here out of the Netherlands, hammered at 3.8 watts per kilogram in that tax kit. And still moving forward here. And it looks like we've got Rasek here 8 miles in to his race. We are going to be doing a total of 32.8 kilometers. So it's just going to be 6.5 laps today. 6.5 laps. D. McCarran here out of Canada in the A race. 13.1 in so far. Going to have about, they're going to be almost halfway done actually with the race already. when they finish up this lap right here. Gonna continue moving forward and see if we can find the rest of the riders. Here we go. I think we have done it. Loxley here from the SZR. That TKB ride was so huge, so great to see. These gigantic rides out on course, man, and that must have been like 300 plus, maybe 400 people on that ride. And it was absolutely took up, I think, a mile of the course or something like that. But Larson here with Loxley and Behow Paceline, yet Y Hansen is in here as well. It looks like Legistrand, Cliven, Isaacson as well, Stockton and Xander all in this lead group, right? Or I think this is most likely the chase group, as I'm not seeing Diner or any of the others who are in the battle for the top 10 in the race series. So Hansen here, as we look through, making his way through a large group of riders out on the Richmond course. 2,731 riders currently out on course, and it looks like a whole lot of them are out on the flat right now. Going to keep on moving forward as we can see what's happening up ahead a little ways. Runberg and Brunavera here are part of a chase group, maybe getting closer to the main chase group out on course as we continue to move forward. We do have Kopix now. I think this is going to be the lead group. Kopix doesn't get dropped usually. Heigel, Ganyan, Ransgar, Bolkarad is here, and this is definitely going to be it unless we've got one or two off the front. They've already completed their 1, 2, and now third lap, and they are going to be doing they're going to be doing 1, 2, 3 more out on course. So it's going to be 3.5 to go from here. Over at Beam, we've got a few. Heigel is here way ahead. Group of 10 way ahead. Thank you so much, Heigel. Appreciate the help as he is typing to us in the chat right now while pulling a solid 173 beats per minute and 322 watts right now. Good to see you over. Hi, Joel. And we got C Tower in here with a ride on and an NG up. An emote. Good to see you, Carol, in the chat. And Allison Duck is here as well. Go stream, go. Good to see you as well. So Heigel Duffy, it looks like, so we did go over all the A's. Let's talk a little bit about the B riders in the series today. We've got Sebastian Sternfalk actually riding for Vision Cycling with a solid 25 points with one race under his belt in the B category. So, but he is tied with the GTD team actually for this race series with also a win. It looks like they both did separate races. And so Kimulini on coming from the GTD team out of Norway as well. So Sebastian Sternfalk holding 25 points and Kimulini there also with 25 points, both tied for first place, but it gave the current gold to Sternfalk. I wonder if that's actually a tie, though, that they just have to place them somewhere in the results within ZwiftPower.com. Bjorn Larson then sitting in third place right now with 18 points, actually tied with Francesco Platania for Team Italy, also with 18 points. Fifth place is going to Peter Osblond, and then sixth is Ghost, as there's no name there, but it shows that somebody got 15 points without a name. Glensow Jason is in seventh currently with 12 for Vision Cycling. Niklas Legistrand then in eighth, and David Ronan from Team Experimental in ninth. And rounding out the top 10 will be Jonathan Blomqvist. Then for the C category, we'll do Dennis Westman, Hakan Gross, and Krister Salsted for the top three right now, all coming from Sweden actually, and Dennis Westman representing the SZ team, the Swedish team. Roger Edvinson for fourth, and Thomas Koppen for fifth place currently in the C category. And it looks like the top three all have done 2 races actually to date. In the D category, John Bertram followed by George Lincho, and then Jan Anderson, Joachim Osterman, and then Michael Johnson riding for the SZR team, actually the SZ team. So that is your top 5 in the D category. For the teams, currently severe coaching with Mr. Philip Diner being the only rider dominating the results currently for the teams with 50 points. The BRT, the Bolt Racing team with 45, and Team Experimental rounding out the top 3 in the A category. For the overall for the teams though, SZ has 70 points. The Bolt Racing team has 57 and Severe Coaching has 50. So there is an overall, and then the teams are separated by categories as well. But in the overall, which I think is really going to matter for the team competition, the SZ team is actually doing a really good job with 70 points currently. The Bolt Racing team at 57, and then Severe Coaching with Philip Diner absolutely killing it with that, looks like 50 points. There are a couple of attacks coming from Philip right now. 9 watts per kilogram at the front, trying to follow Jay Shane, it looks like, and goes right on by. Actually, the Canadian rider suddenly disappearing from my sight there, and there he is right now at 18.1. Him and Philip trying to go off the front, it looks like, working together a little bit, trying to drop off Marshall, Webb, Ronsgaard, and it looks like Heigel as well. They are putting a couple of bodies between themselves and the rest of the riders. We'll see if they are able to pull off this attack right off the front and stay away for the duration of the next 2 laps out on court. Casey Shub saying, go Team Experimental over at the Facebook feed. Good to see you, Casey Shub. Ibro Hakao over at Facebook says, ride on. Good to see you, Ibro. Happening over at the Beam. And it looks like James Hodges is saying that they're on course to catch the TKBE group at the finish. James Hodges is saying. Szymanski is saying that he has a power envy right now. Szymanski, thank you so much for that post about Lindsay's ride with Mrs. Coach yesterday. That was pretty cool actually today. Michael Szymanski, good to see you hanging out over at the Beam channel. So Diner has created about a 2-second gap, but we've got Gagnon like a canyon here, absolutely flying on the front for Team ODZ, trying to pull it back in, 170 beats per minute currently. Has Gagnon done any of the races up to date? It does not look like it. We have 47 racers, it looks like, all within the top 10. And a lot of them have done 2 races actually within the A category that I'm talking about right now. For the overall though, which gets a little bit interesting, Philip Diner followed by Dennis Weissman and then John Bertram actually are in your top 3. It's A, C, D category riders actually for the overall points right now. So, and then within the women's category, actually, Victoria Wignall with 1 race and 12 points so far, throwing down, it looks like Dorth Hansen as well with 10 points in 2nd place, and Michelle East for the BRT team in 3rd place. Agneta Lungblad as followed by Camila Larson for rounding out, it looks like, 5th place for the women, amongst the women's category. Now, I wonder if that's going to be separated out, though. They are awarding points based on how they finish amongst everyone, it looks like. So I wonder if they are going to take a look at that and then just score them amongst the women as well with their own points. That might, though, get a little bit complicated with all the team points, though, as well. But maybe not, though. They could just add that in as a category in and of itself then. It looks like we do have G Marshall here. Looks about to be, is he about to be lapped? SCRC has 20.6 in. So on the Go Power Rangers jumped into the C category race, but looks like the force is strong with this one out of the C category, hanging out with the A's up at the like a canyon, beast mode, Team ODZ is what Casey's saying over at the Facebook. Sitting watching this at lunch at work. Who would have thought a guy can be so excited to go home and ride a trainer in his basement? Good to see you in chat again, Luke Peterson. I've got to absolutely like that comment. It's awesome, man. Good to see you in the chat. Love to have you here, buddy. And so looks like we do. Is that Kuhn? Do we have S. Kuhn up at the front of this race as well? It looks like he's just out for a workout actually, as the race went right on by him there. But I did see Sebastian Kuhn actually, Vision Cycling rider, just for a moment there, out on course. So we do have a few riders that I'm unfamiliar with. It looks like G Marshall actually might be a completely new rider, new racer to the world of Zwift. We'll give him a ride on. He's got no link on his name and no past results actually for his account over at zwiftpower.com. So we'll give him a ride on, welcome him to the world of Zwift racing on those GoGo Power Rangers for the Z Power there. 170 beats per minute, hammering out 400 watts at the front of the A race. Killing it right now. A Coupe from the WBR now, it looks like out of Germany, is in here and trying to hold down, it looks like, for the series top spot in the thanks a lot, Night Train. Appreciate it. Those were not supposed to be on, but I really do appreciate the host very much. And now I bet you they're all gonna come through like crazy. Everybody's gonna be like, here come all the hosts. We're gonna get a big host trade now. And so it looks like in the top 10 right now, we did see Coop, and I believe Coop was riding for the WBR in third place right now with 18 points and only one race under his belt, actually. So Coop is going to probably jump him as long as he gets somewhere within the top 5 or so today. He is going to end up jumping up a little bit in the race results, or for the series, in the SZR series. This series is going to last 12 weeks total. We are in the 3rd, so I think that Coop is probably going to end up jumping a little bit ahead of Lamontre. Nobody in this race today is going to be able to overtake Philip Diner, and it might stay that way for the duration of the series until they hit 10, if Philip shows up week after week after week, because he already has 50 points and is more than a whole race win ahead of the competition currently in the series, as second place has 23 points and a race win is 25 points to first place. So Philip, unless anyone really starts to dominate and take a lot of wins and Philip is unable to finish or unable to get a top 10, will most likely stay at the front of the series until we hit that 10 races and people are able to start catching up as they drop off their worst races in the series. So it looks like Ibro Kaga saying that he is way behind. That's okay, man. Keep on hammering. That's what it's all about here, is encouraging people on through Cycling Made Social with Zwift. So, man, just finish up, dude. Keep on hammering away. And if you are in a solo TT effort, if you can just find one wheel to hang on to that's going just a little bit faster than you know that you can, it'll push you well beyond. It's what we call chasing pixels. And chasing pixels is one of the hardest things I have ever done for my training ever, man. So just make it to the finish line. We'll look up where you are in the results right now and give you a little shout out if we can find you out on course. And we are seeing Team Experimental in here saying, go Lars, Martin Heigel, and Francis Copics. Good to see you in the chat, Team Experimental. Awesome to see you here. Ronsgaard is here as well from the Bolt Racing team, it looks like. Just hanging on the back here with Neil Duffy. Neil Duffy to watch out for. I think he took 3rd place in the previous SZR Racing Series. And so I believe Neil trying to better that result. He's got one race in so far with 15 points, sitting currently in 5th place in the A Racing Series. Person here now out of Sweden, hammering away at the front, 170 beats per minute. Not a rider that I'm super familiar with, actually, but it looks like he does have a 10th place in the last 2 weeks. Let's see where that came from. 5 races total, racing out of Sweden. Estimated functional threshold power of 350 watts. The BRS, the Bolt Racing Series time trial race, actually on January 17th, he took a 3rd place. He took 20th in the SZR Race Series, actually, on the 18th last week. And then the SZR individual time trial, he took a 10th place. It looks like person then had an upgrade from the Bs to the As in the first race in the series, actually, with a solid 4.84 watts per kilogram. So 3.5 watts per kilogram currently, though, coming from Pearson, and looking to better some of those results, maybe jump into the top 10 and grab some points for the A category, as he won the B category in the first one that he did with that 4.84. So looking to grab a few points for the A's, in and amongst the A's, as he still has 10 races left in order to start stacking up some points. And Luke Pedersen saying, thinking about playing hooky tomorrow and getting some. Oh, nice. Yep. And so tomorrow is the big race with Latape giveaway of the socks with the Kiss race. So tomorrow, boys and girls, we are going to be broadcasting the Kiss race here on Zwift Community Live with Zwift on board riders, and everybody that is participating is going to be able to grab some socks. So that's what Luke Peterson is talking about over at the Zwift Community Live channel, is that Kiss has set up a sponsored race where all participants are going to be able to grab some socks, and there are going to be some other giveaways that we will be doing on one of the ZCL outlets. Cyclists love their socks way too much, just kind of says over at the Beam channel. So it looks like Diner here with Nosen. We still have a large group. They were unable to break this apart just yet. Webb here now 4.6, 5.2 watts per kilogram right now. And it's really difficult on the flat course here. Extremely tactical. You have to, when you do attack, you've got to go full on everything you got to gain just a few seconds, and then the group just travels at such a high speed compared to one individual, because they can just ramp that up at the front, and the guys in the back can just sit in the pack and really cause that speed to just ramp up extremely high. Pearson, though, here now with that attack that we were talking about. Frequency, good to see you over at the Beam channel. Thanks a lot for the host. I appreciate it. So Pearson here now with Marshall, as well as Webb, and it looks like Nawson. Diner now. This is the one spot that they are able to actually cause any kind of mayhem in the pack through an uphill gradient. It's only just this little tiny bump in the road, really. It's only 0.8%. I think it goes up to maybe 3% at its steepest grade. And so if you even want to call that a steep grade, I mean, and so it's extremely difficult, but it's the only place to really cause any kind of separation and then try to get away. And they've done a little bit of that, as we do see riders falling off here and there at this point of the course. So now Duffy here from the Bolt Racing team, 5.3 watts per kilogram, coming out of Great Britain, hanging on the back here. Rider that we're watching out for, trying to better his result in the overalls right now. So as far as who is in the overall for the series right now, Ronsgaard definitely is, I believe, sitting in... he's definitely sitting in the front group right now, but looking to grab maybe his first win here out on course for his SZR series. Offixted, though, coming out of Norway as well. Bokerad then too, 4.2, 4.3. is also not in. I thought that, okay, Ronsgaard, yes, I thought I saw his name in there. 9th place for the Bolt Racing team, currently with 11 points. So looking to better on a couple of results that he has had in the series so far. The last 2 races, he does have 2 races under his belt in the SZR series. He took a 5th place back on the 18th, and then he took, it looks like, a 10th place back on the 11th. So it was, yep, it looks to be a 10th place and a 5th place. So that would be 1 point for the 10th place, and then in the on the other race it would be 1 point for 10th, actually. So 1 point for 10th place and 10 points for 5th place, so sitting with 11 there. For all the points, it is a 5th, let's see, first place is 25 points, second 18, third place is 15 points, 4th 12, 5th place is 10th, 6th place 8 points, 7th 6th 8, 4, 9, 2, and then 10th place gets a lonely 1 point, but at least it's something on the board. And those, it always can come down with the points being so close with those finishes. It can always come down to that one single point, especially in a series that goes over 12 races with a best of 10. And James Hodges is saying that the TKBE group will be caught in the middle of the next lap on maybe the climb. That's actually super helpful information so that I don't click around too much out on the Richmond course right now. Diner here now, 4.7 watts per kilogram, looking to defend his undefeated racing so far in the series today. So hammering at the front here. I believe Philip Diner is doing some sort of tests, I heard, with how well racing on Zwift can increase your fitness. Maybe it's something we're going to have to bring him in for on the ZCL page. It'd be kind of cool to have him on and chat with him about what is going on with his testing actually and how it's going. I did see a little article about that. So if anybody knows Philip that's out there listening right now and has seen some of the broadcasts, maybe shoot him a little message. I'll try and find him on Facebook maybe after this, but let him know we'd love to have info about him, have a little chat with him post-race or pre-race about what exactly he's up to with his testing of Zwift and how well it affects in real life fitness. Looks like the TKBE boys are coming up here pretty quickly, and we're about to have a few attacks. If you don't want a sprint finish, it's got to happen soon here, boys and girls. As we look down from the top here, we got Bokrod hanging on the back now, trying to hang in with this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It looks like about 10 riders or so in the lead group. G Marshall still hanging in there, first time racer from the C category, killing it looks like. Nawson is here. I'm not sure if Nawson from the FSK group has any races just yet in the SZR series. Let's go ahead and take a look through here, and I'm not seeing his name in any of the past results off of a quick glance. And no, I'm not seeing anything, at least from his past results, for a top 10. He might have been able to make it. So what I'm saying that not in the top 10, top 15, or even top 45. So no top 10 finishes for Nawson. He may have participated in some of the past races, but this will be one of his better results if he has, as they are making their way toward the finish line, because it looks like he's going to be able to secure himself a top 10. And so it looks like they are going to make their way through that TKBE group a little bit earlier than the sprint, which is going to be good, so that we don't have any confusion out on the course here. But there is a huge amount of riders. Look at this out on course. All those TKBE kits, every one of those TKBE kits are riders that are part of a group ride right now, that are out on course, that are doing the flat lap as well. And it looks like they made their way through very quickly. So that group ride is it looks like one of the largest that I've ever seen as far as a community organized group ride. Pretty cool to see them out on course, hammering away on the flat course. But now this is going to be the final time up and over the top of the cobbled stone area of the Richmond course. It's the only little uphill gradient, and we do see an attack here coming from D Heath on team type 1, hammering off the front with Pearson and Diner. It looks like Diner being the initial instigator at 7 watts per kilogram, just flying off the front, 185 beats per minute. We look over his shoulder, we do see Pearson here trying to hang on to that wheel, and Pearson, without any top 10 so far in the results from what you can see coming out of Sweden here, might be able to put himself on the board with 25 or so points in the result today. Maybe 25, maybe 18, 15, but it looks like he is going to sit somewhere within the top 2 or 3 if they can hold on to this gap. It's going to be very difficult. They got a lot of strongmen behind here trying to pull them back in, but it is going to be D Heath here all alone, solo right now, with nobody able to work with him, and kind of going to be in no man's land if he does not get on the wheel of Diner right now. As you can see here, we're looking forward, working his way through a whole ton of riders out on course, but there is a There is two off the front right now, and it looks like there is an in Gamba kit ride going on here with the PLCR. PLCR. Anybody know what the PLCR is? I'm not exactly sure PLCR, but D Heath is like, where did they go? There's a sea of red and white, and they're absolutely gone. But his perspective, he can see the exact time gap between himself and the other riders, and so we are moving forward here. I did see Diner. There he is here. Diner and Pearson here still battling out. It looks like Diner's throwing down a solid 8 watts per kilogram, but now Pearson goes again out of Sweden here. 9.7, 898 watts. What is even happening, boys and girls? Pearson is out of control. Opening up his sprint super early. And 849. How long are we going to hold the 9.4 watts per kilogram? I have a feeling he's quickly going to have some questions coming from the ZADA here. But 9.2 watts per kilogram. Diner's just like probably throwing his hands up in the air and just doesn't care at this point. Just going to allow F. Pearson to go. Pearson will take the win right now across the line. Diner's going to be taking second unofficially, though. Diner here across the line here in second place for 18 points. I have a feeling he might get upgraded, though, to first place. D. Heathneal bringing his way across the line, followed by Chain. Ronsgaard there going to be taking fifth place, followed by Marsher. It looks like Ronsgaard with another fifth place is going to grab himself another 10 points and bump himself most likely up into, I believe, third place in the series. As I'm looking at Ronsgaard's holding on to that 11 points right now, and it doesn't look like Coop or any of the others, Joachim, Neil Duffy, were able to finish ahead of him. They did come across the finish line. Here is Duffy just now. Looks like he was just behind Ronsgaard, so maybe able to hold on to his fifth place out on course, maybe able to jump ahead of Joachim, as I did not see Joachim out on course at all up to this point. Rogers, exactly, Rogers. So I'm seeing Mr. Johnny Noblet. What is going on here? Getting a few messages in the background from Johnny. So that was the finish for the A's. We left the race, and at this race they do such a great job. They have the categories all together in one race, which does make it kind of difficult. A lot of times races will separate out the categories so that you have a easier time just racing against those who are in your category, so you don't have to deal with B riders jumping onto a whole bunch of A riders' wheels and vice versa with C riders and D riders, you know, where they're all jumping onto wheels that are in categories that are not even supposed to be racing against. And so that is a great way to do races, so that you separate them out and you can see exactly who you're racing against, and nobody can get an advantage. But at the same time, from a broadcaster point of view, if you don't leave the event module, you can easily cover the entire race without all of the other riders out on the course. Peterson looks like is just finished up. We're going to just go to a somewhat of a chill and watch mode and look at zwiftpower.com for the current results, as there are so many people out on course right now. So we do have Jane Austin. It looks like they have not updated just yet. We'll have to wait for the zwiftpower.com live results to update. Should be coming in here pretty soon. PJ Daly is saying, anyone know why is Chris Schumolo not listed as winner of ZTR Tuesday night race? You have to contact the race organizers for that information. There is an frequently asked questions tab, I believe, over at the zwiftpower.com, I believe. I'd have to take a look here real quick. I'm going to look through and see where I'm going to try and point you in the right direction for that, as we're hanging out here waiting for some of the race results to populate. Maybe I'll be able to find the front of the C's here in just a moment. I think they've already crossed the line though, and we've got tons and tons of riders all making their way through out on course here. We're going to try and find some of the D riders that were chatting us up in Zwift Community Live there a little bit on the Facebook page. I am seeing it looks like F. Martin here from Team France making his way toward the finish line. It looks like he's got about 2 kilometers to go. We'll give him a ride on in the SZR race. You know, there was a day when this, like, there was like nobody out on, like, not nobody. I mean, we have 3,031 people out on course right now. 3,030 people out on course, right? And there was a day when 500 people was a big deal. And like, it was so sparse. There was nobody anywhere. And now look at the rows of Zwift. It's insane. There's so many people, you guys. Like, it's amazing. And I mean, think about logins they have to have continually going on. Boom, 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 all day long. It's pretty crazy how much this has grown. So I am looking around here. And you'll have to, I think that there's going to be somewhere in the race results where you can find out who the race organizer is, and that's who you want to contact about that. Another ride, the ZZRC ride is going on out on course now too. We pace not race. Those boys, they actually did run one race that we did for them a little while back. So it looks like for the race results, we do have Frederick Pearson for first place. It looks like he did do 4.8 watts per kilogram, but that crazy attack up into that 900 watts for quite a long time. There's 15-second power was 897. Well, maybe this is a serious track sprinter who was able to hang on all the way to the end and get the better of Philip actually at the line. Philip here from Severe Coaching did take second place, followed by Darren Heath. Jordan Chain then for fourth place, followed by Per Ronsgaard. And then we do have Gavin Marshall, Johan Noreker Nawson, followed by Andy Ruin, and then Frode Bokrad. Rounding out the top 10 was Joachim Storgen, who did take 10th place. Now, Joachim, for all the results, I'll let them figure out the results, but Joachim was sitting in fourth, and a few of the riders who were looking to overtake him look like they will actually move up into a few places ahead of him, with some results a little bit ahead of Joachim. So definitely a battle going on here in the top 10 right now in this series. I'm not seeing Mr. Kopix anywhere just yet out on the results, and that was somebody I was going to be watching out for in this series. He seemed to be showing up to race it often, but it doesn't look like he is come. And Stephen Cousins is saying, I have a video of me riding with 22 people out on course. Exactly, Stephen. And what day was that? Was that during peak times? Was that during peak times, or was that during kind of more of a quiet time? I mean, even last night was pretty quiet. Kopix had a dropout. Gotcha, Casey. Thank you for the information. In the first place in the B category with an upgrade, though, is Nicholas Legistron with 4.2 watts per kilogram. Congratulations on your upgrade. Looks like it's time for the A category, Niklas, coming from the SZ team. I wonder how they're going to handle upgrades. I know a lot of times when you do upgrades in other race series, you can bring some of your points along with you, but it is at like a multiplier where they'll multiply it by like 0.8 or 0.6 or something, but you at least get to bring some of your points with you. But Niklas looks like he's going to be jumping up into the A's. Ben Howe for second place, but 4.3 watts per kilogram, also an upgrade. So it looks like Gerard, that's first and second place. In third place, we'll go to Gerard Te Hanape with 4.0 on the dot, right on the edge, followed by Ron Williams, and then Alf Eric Hagenbakken for fifth place out on course, also with an upgrade. A lot of B's with upgrades today. It looks like the first one across the line would then be Gerard out of the Netherlands, followed by Let's see here. Bo. Nope. Bo's got an upgrade too. No, does he? Yeah, 4.1 watts per kilogram. James Webb also with an upgrade. So Jonathan Blomquist, 4.0 watts per kilogram. That is all within your top. Let's see here. Ben Howe, Nicholas Legastron, Ben Howe, that's first and second. Gerard for third. Ron Williams for fourth. Elf Eric Hagenbakken for fifth. And I'll let the race organizers deal with the upgrades. Looking through here, we do see in the C category, the first one across the line will be Eric Greenhog with an upgrade as well. But first place goes to him out of Great Britain. Solid ride. Congratulations on the upgrade as well and the win. PD Gas, it looks like. TT1, team type 1. With second place in the C category out of the Netherlands. M. Jarland, out of Denmark with third place, followed by P. Politas, actually, those guys have not crossed the line yet. I thought they were going to cross the line in that order, but we'll have to wait and see what's going on there. So it is just Eric Greenhog who has crossed the line so far in the C category. Now we are seeing over at ZCL that Casey Shum said 22 people was peak numbers 2 years ago. This is true. I was riding midday UK time, August 2015. Gotcha. 22 people. Think about that, guys. There was 22 people out on course at one point at this time, around this time. Oh, midday UK time. So no, not around this time. As it is later in the evening, obviously, for you guys, but midday over here. But that's still, I mean, that's crazy how much it's changed just in 1 year. Looking for a few of the riders. Still looks like F. Martin has finished out his race in the D category. Waiting on the C results. I guess we can chat a little bit as we wait for the results to come in about the next things coming up. This is the only event today going on for Zwift Community Live, but we do have Zwift Community Live showcasing the Zwift community, highlighting in all the ways that we possibly can. If you got something awesome to talk about, we've got a lot of people contacting us already to develop some new things to showcase. We're going to be developing some new programs for you guys to check out. But what is coming up over the next couple days, the Kiss Down Under race tomorrow morning at 2 a.m. CST. So if you're coming from New Zealand or Australia, you do the Kiss Down Under race, you're definitely going to want to check that out. We'll make sure to set up a live video reminder, and we'll post that over in Zwift Oz, obviously. The ZTR Europe race with a team race with Team X Racer Focus. I think that's still happening tomorrow. I believe Casey was saying that he's going to be doing. I believe that is going to be Casey Shum, actually. That's going to be doing that. Maybe missing out on some socks, or maybe he'll just double up and get his socks immediately afterwards. Kiss Europe then as well is going to be happening. That is going to be the sponsored ride by Latape. It's going to be awesome. Everybody's going to get some socks, and we'll have some other giveaways as well. ZTR America's at 5 p.m. Big day tomorrow, boys and girls. 4 races, 1 day. Make sure to be here tomorrow for all of that action. Drop lactic acid on Friday with Zuskana 10 p.m. and then the Kiss race, 100 race with Vision Racer Focus at 12 a.m. So make sure to be around for that. So we are still waiting on, let's see here, for the results on the C category. Looks like they have come in, and it is going to be, as we said, Eric Greenhog with 3.5 watts per kilogram getting an upgrade, as well as Yuri Trump. And then Patrick Harvey within the category limits is going to be taking 3rd place. Lisa Tilford, nice job. First woman across the line in the C category, it looks like, and maybe the first woman across the line overall. Solid ride for her. Taking 4th place, actually, riding for Ashfield RC. Solid ride by Lisa. I think she's going to get an upgrade actually to the B category as well. So congratulations. Robert Ford then across the line, followed by Haken Gross. I'm going to move through now and see what's going on with the Ds. We are still waiting for a few of the Ds to come through. It looks like I did see that Frenchman cross the line here. It looks like Team France, F. Martin 33.7 in SZRD. So I believe he may have already come across the line. I'm going to go through and check out what is happening here in the results. There's a lot of riders. I am seeing 314 riders showed up for this race. We'll see how many get across the line at the end of the day. I'm saying here, Al Chloe is saying, enjoyed Lindsay's stream the other day. Guess he'll be adding more and more content. Yes. So Al, we are going to have tons more content for you. They're like the goal, Al, is 24/7 streaming. That's actually the goal. This is not the Nathan Guerra, Lindsay Guerra show. This is not just about us broadcasting. Actually, the goal here is to highlight the entire community. And so yeah, I'll be running shows where we highlight you guys and host people that we specifically talk about their awesome accomplishments through Zwift, what they're doing in Zwift. Like that Philip Diner idea. Well, what are you doing? What's these tests that you're up to? What kind of results have you had? So talk shows like stuff around Zwift. Yeah, for sure. Also, though, we are going to be doing races like we're seeing here. We're going to be doing the team racer focuses as well and getting Zwift on board race point of views as well. But then we also are going to have coached rides. There's lots of coached rides that are out in the world of Zwift right now that are taking place that we can highlight here for those coaches as well as for those group rides, and people can get the benefit of watching what a coach ride looks like. There's also some great group rides that are let out on course. The ZZRC, the WBR, the Odivas rides, some of the ODZ rides that are out there. I mean, there's a ton of really great leadership in the world of Zwift that can stream, or that we can have hosts come here and help them to stream that experience. Looks like F. Martin just crossed the line here. Nice job to the Frenchman. Solid ride for him in the D category. So yeah, tons more content coming down the line, Al. And it's not just going to be race broadcasts. We're shooting for 24/7 highlighting and showcasing of the Zwift community. Luke Peterson said, I said it before, but I'll say it again. My wife loved the ladies only races. Hopefully the powers that be read my Peterson. It's on its way. There's actually a lot of people working on that right. Looking to the first video Zwiftcast. Actually, Al, that's already in the works. I'm thinking in the next 2 to 3 weeks. So, Al, there will be Zwift Community Live Zwift casting taking place. Actually, Al, we're working on it. I shouldn't say absolutely. We are already working on it, Al. So we're super excited to bring it to you guys. The llama lives in Australia, and the upload bandwidth can be a little bit of a struggle, I think, in the land down under, and so that might be our only hurdle to getting him on the live camera. But besides that, we are definitely have that within our sights and our aim right now to create a Zwiftcast live. And we're thinking, yeah, so definitely something to be watching out for, Al. All right, so it looks like in the D category, we do have some results rolling in. Chris Heselton here. Third, looks like at 3.1 watts per kilogram, so a little bit of an upgrade for Mr. Heselton. But solid ride for him. First time rider, it looks like, in the results so far. We are waiting for Kay Johansson. I'm going to see if we've got any more women that have crossed the line here. It looks like Lisa Tilford, followed by Jane Coates, then taking second place amongst the women. And then Madeline Blom riding for the Swedish team, the SZR team SZ, taking third place, it looks like, according to ZwiftPower.com right now, amongst the women. Next woman to come across the line will most likely be C. Bachman, followed by A. Beck. They're battling out to the line right now. And Al Cluey is saying, it will be awesome to see you guys bantering live. Yeah, we're still trying to figure out if we're going to do it riding or just sitting here and chilling, or maybe we'll do some of both. It'll be really interesting to see how that's going to play out. And it's all about performance. That's the name of the game. Pumping up the tires and oiling the chain. Over at the Beam channel. We've got a raid going on over there. So that's what's happening, guys. If you're wondering why we're getting pumping up the tires and oiling the chain performance like crazy, I'm going to turn that down just so for right now. But I really appreciate all the follows, you guys. What is coming in here? It looks like Laid Back Gamers, Mew Mew 21, Bubbles as well. Lots and lots of follows coming through. I really appreciate all the follows, you guys. Where is this raid coming from over on Beam? Huge thank you to whoever is bringing everybody on over. And welcome to the channel, everybody. If you're looking for more race broadcasts, we are going to be moving over to Zwift Community Live, just so you guys know, everyone who's starting to follow the Nathan Guerra channel over on Beam. But if you have interest in personal riding out on Zwift, my own training out on Zwift, or my riding and gaming, I also play a lot of Overwatch and Hearthstone over here. That is something that you'll find over at this channel as well. This is also a big hub for a tight-knit group that has been following the growth of Zwift right along with the Nathan Guerra channel for quite a long time. First starting out on Twitch, being there for a really long time, and then moving on over to Beam. So it looks like in the D category then, we do have the results they have rolled in. So we do have Chris Heselton with an upgrade, 3.1 watts per kilogram, but taking first place, followed by Armel Grimalt, and also Ewald Heijink is going to be third place. But all those boys did get a upgrade to the next category, it looks like. MC Neo then as well will grab an upgrade in the D category. It looks like the entire D category is going to be upgraded to the C's today. Eric Oberg then is here as well. The ZZRC group is absolutely huge, but being overtaken by the In Gamba Kit group out on course right now. We're going to start broadcasting and chatting about the, we're going to start commentating the group rides. There's so many of them out there on course right now. Kent Johansson with an upgrade out of the D category. Scott Bartlick as well. So it looks like Pete Timar then, the first one without an upgrade in the D category. We'll have to see how the race organizers handle that. But that is the order. It will be Chris Heselton, Armel Grimald, Ewald Heijink, followed by MC Neal for fourth place. Fifth place going to Eric Oberg. And then sixth to Kent Johansson, Scott Barlick for seventh. And then Pete Timmer, the first one within category limits, taking eighth place, I believe it is, for the SZ team. All right, boys and girls, I think that is going to be it for our cast today of the SZR Racing Series. Race number 3 in the series. I wonder how quickly the results update for the points overall. It looks like it probably takes them a little while. I wonder if Martin or anybody else is out in the chat right now. Give us an idea of I'll have to ask them how quickly the results do get updated for the racing series. It's actually loading right now, and nope, we are still seeing Philip Diner overall with that 50 points, but he did take second today to Pearson. We'll have to see if Pearson will hold on to that win or get relegated, but Pearson's going to be grabbing 25 points and at least getting himself with 25 points in the A category. That actually jumps him somewhere into the top 10, I would think, almost for sure. Absolutely huge. Thank you so much for the host, KW Aaron. Good to see you. It's not really a raid. KW Aaron is talking about you and Zwift. Seems pretty cool. Thanks so much, Mrs. T, for letting me know over at the Beam channel. Really appreciate it. KW is absolutely awesome. If anybody over at the Beam channel has not gone and checked out KW, we're talking about a disabled veteran, right, who is jumping into Zwift. This is a story we want to tell, right? Jumping into Zwift to get himself back into shape, right? And so ex-military, disabled veteran who is trying to better himself through the power of bicycles, and he saw Zwift through the live streaming that we've been doing and thought that this was a great way as a gamer and a partnered streamer to jump into a platform in order to get himself back into shape and take his life back in that way. And the guy has been really committed with it. I actually I added him to my training peak so I can see what he's up to and been assisting him as much as I possibly can to encourage him on. If you haven't gone already over to his channel, I highly suggest it. It's KW-Irion. I'll give him a shout out actually in my Beam channel. And I don't know if anybody is hanging out at the Facebook can maybe shoot KW a little bit of love maybe over there as well. Actually, I'll just link it right now over in the Facebook through my profile. So here you go, guys. The person that I'm talking about currently, that is his Beam channel. You can go check him out. He does do Zwift rides here and there. But you'll find, I do believe he does mark his channel as mature, though, just as a warning. Okay. I do believe he marks his channel as mature. You might find a little bit different language use than Nathan does over at that channel. Nathan, will you be doing SciY again this summer? I love watching some familiar single track trails, granted at a much higher rate of speed than I ride. Yeah, I can, their servers are currently not up, but I think I'll be able to live stream the SciY to YouTube or maybe some of the other live streaming platforms. I'll have to have a chat, maybe Beam. Since we are partnered with Beam, we may be able to find a way to go directly to them through the software in the camera. So I believe I will be able to pull that off, Luke. So yeah, SciY live stream is definitely something that we want to continue to do. Otherwise, yeah, we'll see what's going on with SciY this year. I would love to continue to do those for sure. We just got to figure out where to go for the servers. And Frequency saying that's an awesome story. And KW says, I cuss a lot because I used to be Army. So yeah, always mature. Sorry, guys. Allison Duck saying inspirational over at the beach. All right, boys and girls, that is going to be it for the Zwift Community Live cast of the SZR Race Series. We were here chatting for a little while. If anybody has any questions, I'll hang out here for just a few more minutes or so. Maybe have a little chat here about just what is coming up. Again, I'll give you guys the weekly schedule, and then we are going to take off. Thanks a lot, everybody, for tuning in. Really appreciate you guys, and I will be back later tonight on my channel just to ride late, and then I'll be back for Tour Down Under also super late tonight for the Kiss Down Under race, or not the Tour Down Under, the Kiss Down Under race at 2 a.m. The Tour Down Under is now on Zwift. Just kidding, guys. The Tour Down Under is not on not on Zwift, although Zwift was just at the Tour Down Under. So yeah, the Kiss Down Under race, 2 a.m. CST. On Thursday is the next thing coming up, and I will set up the event. Thanks a lot, everybody, for tuning in. If you got any questions or anything, make sure to message Zwift Community Live or myself over on Facebook. That is the best way to get a hold of us. It's all about performance. Have a great night, day, everybody. Thanks a lot for the follows over on Beam. You guys are all really appreciated. All right, cheers, everyone.